Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your girl, Felicity Woodson, and you're tuning into Every Women Everywhere. And it's 1 o'clock, and what's happening? What are you doing? I hope you had a chance to enjoy the lovely weekend. I know I've been on some adventures, but yeah, thanks for tuning in. We're definitely going to tune you into some of the things that we talked about last week. If you are a new listener, uh, just a heads up, if you haven't heard the news, Women Everywhere has launched a website where you can check out all the previous episodes, which is pretty cool. We have a social forum, which you have topics you want to talk about. Of course, some people might not necessarily want to get live with it. So it's anonymous if you'd like. You can tune in through your email, TVRadio-WE.com. Check it out. You can find out more about myself, my co-host Gigi Carrera, which unfortunately she's not able to be here today, but for good reasons. She's currently working on a magazine that will be launching pretty soon. All her beautiful designs. So definitely tune into that. Fabulous, fabulous designs. I had the privilege to be able to model for a couple of beautiful pieces. A lot of things that just happened to be very fitting to my character. And I guess that's what I can say that I love about Gigi's designs is because whatever she makes and whatever is inspired at that moment, whatever model fits into it is because of that's the outfit that's supposed to be on you. That is the outfit that you are supposed to model. And so I love her empowerment through her fashion, through her technology. And so shout outs to Gigi. Congratulations on the big things that you're doing. And yeah, so what happened last week that you guys missed? If you are tuning in, you can now go to our website. You can check out the series yourself. I'm not going to go too far into depth, but we talked about some interesting facts as far as how to stay safe when you're traveling, and definitely some good, valid facts. Gigi went to Washington, D.C., and had some really good ideas that came up, and I'm really glad that she was able to share that. Then we talked about some safe driving tips, especially during the summer, a lot of traffic in your area, or even just period, you're coming home. Traffic flow after work is brutal. It happens. So tune into that website. Like I said, TVRadio-We.com. You can check that out. So yeah, today we are going to talk about some interesting facts. I did a little bit of research, and you'll be surprised about what I have for you today. But in the midst of that, I was thinking, when I was hanging out with my friend and I yawned. And then a couple of minutes later, she yawned. And I was like, wow, what is that idea of that contagious yawning? And so I did a little bit of research on that. And the reason why you yawn. I always thought for a little while that you yawn because you're tired, right? Kind of. You think that, I didn't get enough sleep, so I'm going to yawn because I'm tired. A portion of it, of a fact of fatigue, but why you yawn? Awesome thing about yawning, there's a couple of different, theories out there. Of course, you do your research. You don't always have to believe what you first see, but the fact of yawning is the simple reason of your body is lacking oxygen. So when you yawn, you take a really deep breath, your mouth widens, allowing you to receive more oxygen. And that helps with the blood flow, processing carbon dioxide through the blood flow, and allowing you to breathe easier. Your blood flow and through your body is healthier. Definitely want that. Don't want any clogged arteries. Then you deal with heart attacks and issues with stuff like that. So of course, yawning is good. Yawning necessarily doesn't mean that you are tired, you didn't get enough sleep, but you're lacking oxygen, or maybe your certain vital organs are tired, and so they're reaching for the extra oxygen, hoping that you can wake up with some oxygen. You know, oxygen is important. That's why we protest not cutting the trees. So yeah, I just thought, I shared a quick, fun fact on that. If you guys, like I said, check out the websites on Google, tons of different information on yawning and the different theories. But I was curious, like sometimes when I yawn, it feels like forever. And I'm like wondering, how long is this yawn? Like I've never personally timed it, and I never even bothered. And so I might next time. The next time I yawn, but you never really have a chance to like time a yawn. Like, so how do you do that? However, um, they've found a way. So supposedly the average yawn is 6 seconds. Pretty interesting. Like I said, I don't know how you do it. I can never just catch my yawn. That just means that somebody is sitting right there in front of you all day. And as soon as you open your mouth, click stopwatch. Click stopwatch. That must like really be a boring job. But hey, thank you, whoever did that, because now we know the average time of a yawn is 6 seconds. But of course, everybody wants to outdo a yawn. What is the longest yawn? So I checked out Guinness Book of World Records. 23 seconds. The longest yawn. And you'll be going surprised by a Pomeranian puppy. A Pomeranian puppy is in the Guinness Book of World Records for yawning. So, those of you out there that think that you're pretty awesome at something and that you think that you should go for it, or you're wondering like how long, or is my awesomeness better than somebody else's, check out, not trying to be negative, but a little bit of competition. Guinness Book of World Records is great. Check it out. You got all kinds of people out there on a daily basis training to be a record holder in Guinness Book of World Records. Every day. People YouTube it. Definitely look at some random YouTube of Guinness Book of World Records and an attempt of Guinness Book of World Records. You'd be surprised. And like the Guinness Book of World Record fails, some might be humorous, some might be awfully sad, but it's interesting what people and what you could get into Guinness Book of World Records and cash in on a check and be famous in some sort. Like you are a Guinness Book of World Record holder. And some people use that as different platforms to reach out, support different organizations, raise money. I know that I was a part of a Guinness Book of World Record attempt back in 2012 of February, helping out as a health fitness professional as my friend Nicholas David attempted the longest static cycling. Really crazy experience. Definitely, if you want to check out our journey and everything that happened with that, you can tune into that as cycleofpeace.org. They were really awesome. I was really privileged to be able to be a part of something like that. But the process of being in Guinness Book of World Records, depending on what it is it's quite lengthy and very precise of and they're very particular of what they want. But with the dedication, you could be in Guinness Book of World Records. Pomeranian puppy named Bella in Guinness Book of World Records. Like, I'm sure that owner is like really proud of their dog. Like, it's not even in a dog show. The longest yawn, 23 seconds. Whatever, I guess. Hey, tell me if you've ever attempted to time your yawn. I would like to know that. I haven't. I've never thought about it. But if you think so, tell me. I'm curious if you've held a yawn longer than 23 seconds because you need to be in Guinness Book of World Records. I know that for sure. So, on that note, yeah, what's going on outside in the community? I'm very curious. Um, do we had a lot of things going on as far as some negative issues, but great peaceful protesting going on out there in Chicago and worldwide. So I support just peaceful process and just try to love, try not to be so hateful, and come out with a purpose and do your research. Don't be ignorant. And besides that, like, stand up for what you really believe in. And so I'm curious to know if anybody had the chance to go to Taste of Chicago. That was happening last week. Um, I know for me, constantly out in the community, I was recently at a health fair in Northlake, and it was held by a church called U-Turn. Really great. Um, it's awesome to see so many people come out and have the opportunity to receive like basic health testing, glucose testing, cholesterol testing, BMI, blood pressure. Depending on what kind of sponsors are out, will depend on what kind of maybe medical testing they receive, or even just information on different resources that they can receive as well. Fabulous. Definitely check out like do some research, check out like your local newspaper, your local community center, and see if they're involved in any community health fairs, because it's awesome. Like, there's so many people that come out and receive these, like I said, basic health medical tests for free. The one that I was at yesterday, they were giving out free school exams, physical exams, which is awesome because there's a lot of times where kids are playing sports and they need this physical exam in order to clear them to play the sports. Sometimes parents aren't necessarily able to check them into a doctor, wait all this time, or maybe they don't have insurance. Maybe they aren't unable to financially pay for this exam. These health fairs provide that for free, and that's the awesome thing about it. You get different organizations that donate their time, their materials in order to provide for lower resource communities, or even just communities in general, because I feel like we need to support each other and do everything that we can and utilize as much resources as possible. Like, there's no point into going into wasting and not taking advantage over certain opportunities, because there's a lot of free things out there and there's a lot of things that are taken for granted and being wasted. But on that note, I'm gonna take a break because we're gonna talk about some of those wasteful things, and you, like I said in the beginning, you'll be surprised at some of these facts, because I definitely was, and it changes my perspective on life right now. Yeah, definitely changing my perspective, and hopefully, I can help change yours. So check us out, Women Everywhere. I'm Felicity Woodson. This is IntellectualRadio.com, and we'll be back.
E o que eu quero é sambar. Este samba que é missa de mascatão. É samba de preto, baby, é samba de preto, tom. Um samba como esse tão legal, você não vai querer que ele chegue no final. Oh, Maria, oh, oba, oba, oba. Oh, 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 Maria, oh, oba, oba, oba. Sai na minha frente que eu quero passar. Este samba tá ficando animado e o que eu quero é sambar. Este samba é missa de mascatão. É samba de preto, vem, é samba de preto, tom. Mas que nada, um samba como esse tão legal, você não vai querer que ele chegue no final. Oh,
Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back. This is Women Everywhere, and I'm Felicity Woodson, and thank you for tuning in. If you're just getting onto the show, welcome. I'm going to let you in on a secret. Women Everywhere has a website. If you want to support us and follow us some more and figure out what's been going on with Women Everywhere and who we are and what this is, check us out. TVRadio.we.com. All of our past live shows, social forum. If you guys have any suggestions on things we should talk about, definitely let us know. This is not just only our show, this is your show as well. We are everywhere, and then aspect of it, kind of sounds funny, but that's the kind of the pitch is we are everywhere. We are in different regions. Gigi, my co-host, unfortunately she's not here today, was just in Washington, D.C., covering some awesome pageantry with Miss USA. So Miss United USA, sorry. So many pageants and so many names, but oh my gosh, everything that where we are as far as the different events that we cover, the different things that we have to talk about, it's not just how we feel and what we say, it also inspired by you. And so we are here at Intellectual Radio every Sunday from 1 to 2 p.m. Central. So for all of you that are tuning in, love us right now. Tune in next week. On our website, you can find all kinds of information, like I said, about us, and as well as any businesses out there that want us to come cover your maybe event, help promote you. Maybe you want to come on to our show and talk a little bit about what you have going on, either as an artist or a entrepreneur. We are always looking to support people. That's definitely positive organizations that are out there looking to help the community, because ultimately that's what we're trying to do. We are trying to connect everybody with positive people in order for us to grow as, like I said, as a community. So what I was chatting about earlier was a little bit on wasteful things, and you'll be surprised. I've been hearing a lot of different things, and just the topic of waste is pretty prevalent in the last couple of weeks for me and my surroundings. And even what do you consider waste? So I thought maybe we would talk about that because I was kind of curious to find some of the statistics, quite alarming, for myself and the future generation. So today's focus is wastefulness. And what do you consider waste? For me, waste I consider something that you throw away, something that is unneeded, maybe broke, unusable. My definition of waste is going to be a lot different than your definition of waste. So please feel free to share that either, like I said, on our social forum, on our website, on our Facebook page, on my personal page, Felicity Woodson, and the Intellectual Radio. You can give us a phone call, 708, the number's back there, 223 8953, and let me know maybe what you think of waste and whatever you feel as far as what's going on with this topic today, because there's a lot of waste going on and we need to do something about it. Like, I know I can try and you can try, but we need to be really aware about what's going on right now as far as waste. And I hate to be like the super eco-friendly activist, but this is something serious. So I feel like we should talk about it and educate myself and the community about it. And so, with the question of what was waste, followed by thinking about all the things that I throw away in the trash and the things that I recycle or don't recycle. And I'll have to admit, I'm pretty bad at like just kind of throwing things away. I've been trying to get a little bit more being a little bit more mindful of it, but sometimes I'll just throw some stuff away, especially if there is not a recycling bin near hand. I might just throw it in the dumpster bin. I'd rather do that than one, throw it on the floor, and two, I really don't want to carry this around. I just like collect a bunch of stuff in my car, or maybe you don't have a bag. Maybe you really don't want to carry it. Come on, like sometimes recycling can seem inconvenient, right? Um, but the different things that you throw away is just interesting as far as like me. Water bottle, Gatorade stuff, any like bottled drinks. You go to the store, convenience store, you're thirsty, had a workout, grab a bottle of drink. Maybe plastic, aluminum for the most part, throw it in the trash. And it's common. The biggest things that are thrown away are aluminum foil, such as like cans, like bottled drinks, plastics, all kinds of different plastic. Plastic is really big. Plastic bags. Oh my gosh, when you hear these statistics on plastic bags, it's ridiculous. Food is like clothes, there's so much electricity. It's called e-waste. I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't think about that. I was like, what is Oh, okay, electricity waste. You leave your lights on all day, you're not really there, you're not using it, you're just burning electricity, right? So many different things that are being wasted. And so then I started thinking, like, what area or country has the most waste? Because I feel like us as Americans, our traditions, our culture is very wasteful in all kinds of different aspects, especially as technology grows. That's another thing that started to be phones. Phones are thrown away so often, especially because of the simple fact of the way that they're handled, the damage. But so many things that are being tossed out could actually be recycled in sense of cash form. You recycle it, you can get some money. Depending on what it is, recycle it into a craft form, create a whole new something. Like, there's so many things that you can do. And so, as far as like, we'll go into that a little bit, but the biggest, who makes the most waste? We are so wasteful. Our traditions, Thanksgiving, all that stuff. Like, what's going on? New Zealand. Oh, first and foremost. Oops, sorry. I talk with my hands. I'm very big, so sometimes Got to be mindful of that. But the US definitely one of the top countries that produce the most waste. 250 million tons of waste. Russia with 200. China definitely approaching with like 220, probably would be before Russia. Japan, Germany, the United Kingdom. Mexico's up on the lower end of the list. But for us to have 50 states and be so wasteful, are it's ridiculous. And we can do things to either recycle or prevent so much waste. The average American, like I said, America produces about 250 million tons. The average person produces about 4.4, maybe 5 pounds of waste a day, which is a lot. About, I think, on Mother Nature Network, a lot of information on this, a lot of information on how to be eco-friendly. Checked it out. They said that over just an average lifespan, one individual will produce about 90,000 tons, no, pounds of waste. So if we have 320 million people living here, like just think about like how much waste is being dumped on landfills, one way that they dispose of waste, in the ocean, unfortunately, burning as a sense of waste, and all of these, and this is how we dispose of waste, but yet it's not doing our environment any good. You throw waste in, you think most commonly, landfill. Doing some statistics on that. And like I said, your biggest items that are tossed out: aluminum, plastic bags, especially metal, glass, all these different things that are being thrown away. You have to think, if it's being tossed into the earth in landfills, how long does this item take to disintegrate in the ground? Decompose. For a piece of one aluminum can, your little Coke, it's hot outside, all of that stuff. Your one can, when it's dumped into landfill, about 250. No, let me rephrase that. 200 to 500 years to decompose. One can. So then you talk about glass. 1 million years to decompose. One glass. Plastic bags. Statistics show that an average in America uses about 60,000 bags in 5 seconds. In 5 seconds. So you guys can do the math and all the calculations, because I started to do the minute, and that's too much, man. You guys got to. I'm not gonna say you guys, because I'm not really too mindful of it, and this really changed my perspective of it. But we have to be more mindful of like what we toss out and what can be recycled. 60% of things that we throw out can be recycled in some sort of form or fashion. 50% of household items can be compost. So you think about, okay, what is, those that don't know, okay, well, what am I supposed to do as far as my trash. Like this is waste. I don't need it. I don't have a compost. So somebody that's gonna pack my stuff in a nice little box and somebody's gonna pick it up. And it's interesting too because I have my grandparents have a compost and there's like special bags for that, and the bagging is somewhat plastic, which is kind of weird. If you think about it, like this is supposed to be more biodegradable, which is understandable. Like I said, you have now that compost element, and then the like cardboard or the paper that bag that they've created, but it's still held and put together by some sort of plastic form. So really not that biodegradable. I guess better than it go. I don't know. I guess better than anything. But ocean waste, about maybe 50,000 plastic waste in every square mile of the ocean. So I am throwing out all these statistics. I know, whoa, oh my gosh, I don't want to sit here at Women Everywhere and feel like I'm sitting in the classroom. No, this is what intellectual radio is about. We are here to produce information and awaken you to things and that you're participating in every day. Educate you. I mean, I'm not gonna force your hand behind your back and make you recycle. I can't. I don't have that power to. But the power that I have is to educate you and, like I said, myself. And also lead by example. Small kids. Everything starts with the kids. I know you guys don't like really realize it. Like we need to educate our youth on the importance of recycling and reusing things. And in order to do that is really to be an example. In the households, at school, provide recycling bins. Provide trash bins more often on corners. Maybe that'll help eliminate trash. Now, those that don't know, there are certain areas that have certain regulation. Every state has a certain regulation. Every city has certain regulation when it comes to trash. Obviously, someone has to come pick up the trash, right? You get that annoying truck driver and the screechy truck and the annoying beeping because they're backing up to get your trash can every Thursday morning. They have to be paid, and there's multiple people that are involved in waste management that dispose of your waste. I don't know if you guys know the people in the Chicago region, and maybe if you are familiar with areas like community living areas, more private communities, they have this fee where they pay monthly that involves maybe trash disposal, cutting of the grass, stuff like that. Now in Chicago, homeowners are being taxed or charged yearly for their trash to be taken out or disposed of. A lot of the reason being, supposedly, is the simple fact of people are not recycling enough, and this is a result. A lot of different places are implementing this aspect of having to pay for your waste to be disposed of because people aren't taking the time to individually separate their plastics and bottles. And the funny thing about it, like I said earlier, this stuff you can recycle and make money. My sister, she probably still does this around the house and is not like 19 years old, about to be 20 in September. Goes around the house and keeps track of all the recyclable plastic bottles, all of that stuff. Anything that you can take to the recycling and cash in for in California, you get 5 cents a pop. Not necessarily sure how that works out here in Chicago, but different places are different. Cash out 5 cents a pop, maybe 10 cents on certain things. Why not? One, this material is going to be taken to a factory where it might be hopefully is reused into another plastic bottle or some sort of new creation. Cashes in like every time. Two trash cans full, like those big dumpsters full. Walks out with like sometimes I think she said 60 plus dollars to collect cans and doesn't really even try that hard. Like tells everybody in the house, any water bottles, anything, don't throw them away. Just put them on the counter. I'll take care of them. And cashes out every month. Every time she, no, not every month. Maybe like every, maybe 6 weeks. Maybe every 6 weeks. Maybe. Depending. I got to ask her again. But even if that's the case, for every 6 weeks, she's cashing in on $60 to recycle some stuff. And that's another thing, though, too, is like, how much stuff are we wasting? Like, we, as a whole, we can just be saving some money. Use it, recycle it. I'm just saying, if we start recycling and being more mindful of the different things that we're doing to our environment, hopefully we'll grow older and not have certain diseases due to our environment. A lot of diseases now should either so or environmental because of poor disposing of waste. I mean, I'm not sure what you think. But when we come back, I'm going to tell you on how you can be mindful of your wastefulness, maybe how you can contribute to the change. And I got a couple of really interesting facts that, like I said, this you're really missing out on some benefits of trash. Just think it's trash, not trash to everybody. Say some trash is somebody's treasure. We'll see how true that is when I come back. All right. Tune in. Thank you. Women everywhere. IntellectualRadio.com.
Tell me how you feel. What is love? Is it really real? All I know is that you've been by my side. All I know is you make me come alive. All I know is you have my heart, hoping that we will never find. So eternity is where I wanna go. Into eternity is where I wanna be. Into eternity is where I wanna find. Find it forever between you and me. What is love? Is it you next to me? What is love? Greater than ecstasy. What is love? Is it in your eyes? What is love? Take me by surprise. All I know is you're still standing here. All I know is it seems so very clear. All I know is I want to take you away to a place where there's only sunny days. Into eternity is where I wanna go. Into eternity is where I wanna be. Into eternity is where I wanna find forever.
Welcome back, everybody, to this, at least in Chicago, gloomy weather. Hopefully, it's always sunny somewhere. Sunny in California. This is Women Everywhere, and we are here every Sunday, 1 to 2 p.m. Central Time. Because, like I said, we're everywhere. We have tons of tons of things going on in different regions, and we want to support you. So check us out. Let us know what's going on with you and how we can be a part of it. But as I was saying before the break, how can we contribute to this change? How can we stop being so wasteful? So, first of all, you have to be conscious of what you're throwing away. You have to be conscious. Like, I know it's really hard to stop and think about everything that you're putting into the trash can, but you have to start to become conscious of what you're throwing away. Can this be recycled? Can this be compost if you have that option? Can I create something with it? What are what am I throwing away, and being conscious of my waste and where I'm throwing it, especially, please. Like, we have to stop throwing trash on the ground. There's already trash in landfills, and come on, just get it. Let it be the designated area. We are already having issues with this. Back to that. Make an attempt. Make an attempt to change. So once you become mindful of the waste, what you're throwing away, how much trash you're producing, now you can start to make an attempt. With that being said, start avoiding certain things like over packaged products. A lot of people go out to eat nowadays, and the simple fact of going out to eat, you have to go boxes, you have all this different stuff, and now you're throwing it away. Especially when you're hitting those drive-throughs. Like, come on. Then, with the overpackaging products or just certain things like bottled waters or bottled drinks, try to avoid that. That's why you reach out to get a nice refillable water, maybe one with the filter where you can put beautiful garnishes in it, like mint and strawberries and all that fancy stuff. Yeah, they promote getting a water bottle as a way to help reduce waste. Stop drinking soda. It's not that amazing for you anyways. Check out all the videos on Coke and the different cleaning uses of it. You'd be surprised. Seen a grill get cooked in and I mean cleaned with Coke, and I don't know. I don't drink it now. Be mindful like what you're putting into your body, because some of the stuff that you're putting is into your body is waste. That's a whole other topic. We'll talk about that, especially if you're interested in it. Buying in bulk. That's a lot. Not only helpful in the terms of not having to go to the store as often, but also in the terms of waste. You're not having to buy multiple small packages of this one thing when you can buy one big package of this one thing. It probably has a bunch of little small packages in anyways. This is the way the companies work, unfortunately, but we have to try to be mindful of that. And so recycling is another way. Like I said, and there's different ways to recycle. Like I said, you got that little blue recycling bin, toss out your stuff. Awesome. A lot of things that get dumped in the trash can are like furniture, stuff like that. You can refurbish that. Now, some people don't have the skills. Now, I understand some people aren't that crafted, and I'm sorry. Maybe you're not that artistic. Maybe you don't have the time. But you can find either, if it's in somewhat good enough condition as far as structure, you can find someone that does that. You can take it to a Goodwill. You can drop it off, I'm sure, at a store, an antique store, a place that specifically refurbishes furniture. Sometimes you might be able to get some money on it. I'm just saying, ways to save money as well and make money. Like I said, about 60% of things that are thrown away are recyclable. Like I said, benefits. It's just so awesome if you look at trash or waste in a different aspect of just going in the bin. Because once you do that, and once you're mindful of what you're throwing away, you'll be surprised on how useful certain things are. For instance, I am a thrift store shopper. I love to shop at thrift stores simply because there's some pretty cool stuff. And I don't know, there's something cool about like me going to this thrift store, and some people might find it weird, but who had this? Like this item before I had it. And not all thrift stores or Goodwills or whatever you decide on, a resale store to go to, garage sales, not all things have been used. I've been to thrift stores where the tag from the original store is still on it, price tag and everything. And then there's the like resale store price. For instance, yesterday I got a no Friday. I got a, I guess that doesn't matter. I got a pair of heels that I looked up. Yeah, I just seen them and they were really cute. I was in a pretty good area, west suburbs. That's an awesome thing. If you start looking at certain areas where things are being donated, check out different areas. Different people donate different things, and you'll be surprised what you find. Like for me, I was in the west suburbs. I found a pair, $130 pair of heels. And for me, you flip over the shoe, especially the heels, because all you ladies know when you start wearing that one pair of shoes that you love so much, if you don't know how to walk in them. And sometimes, even if you do, you start getting that slant, or it starts wearing out at the bottom. So you need to either replace the bottom. Hopefully your shoe does that. That's a blessing for you ladies, especially you shoe lovers. Sometimes you have to toss them out. So for me, like when I go to the thrift stores and I find a pair of shoes that I like, I flip them over, check out what the sole looks like. Never been worn. Maybe once somebody walked around in them a couple of times. No big deal, right? I didn't even look them up on Facebook or Google. Didn't even look up the name. And I just put them on. They fit. I really liked them. They were comfortable. $7. So I looked in the inside, and I've never heard of this designer. And I looked it up, and the pair of shoe, this nude cork bottom sole pair of shoe, was $130 that I just got for $7. Like, okay, so not only can you make money when recycling or disposing of things properly, but you can save money, like with the things that people dispose of. Thrift stores, garage sales, that stuff is awesome. Some people aren't really into that thing. They want to go out and they want to buy something. For me, personally, that idea is awesome. I wish that I wish that people would be more mindful. The simple fact that, like, for me, as a model, as an entertainer, I'm constantly doing new things. And I'm constantly live doing new things. You're constantly in a new outfit. Most of the time, you're going to wear the outfit once and you're going to toss it out. Or for me, I have a little collection of certain things that I like that I might reuse. But come on, girls, you guys know. You guys found that one dress, you wore it, they took pictures in it. We're not going to wear that again. What are you talking about? They're going to know I wore it. But you just spent maybe $60+ on a new outfit, and you're never going to wear it again. And I find it wasteful. And so for me, I find a lot of benefit in going into these thrift stores. And I might have talked about this before because I'm like an advocate on thrift stores. Is I go into the thrift store, maybe spend $20 if that, and walk out with a pair of jeans, maybe a new dress. Found a new dress. The tag's still on it. Those shoes, $130 pair of heels for $7. Scores. Like, these are like deals of things. People say that another people's trash, another man's a piece of trash is another man's treasure. Like, you'd be surprised. Recently, me and my friend helped a older woman clear out her house. She had a couple of things in the garage, needed to go to the thrift store, needed to be taken out, maybe needed to be trash. She needed some help moving around. So we woke up early in the morning, went and taken care of that. My friend scored on a really dope old sewing machine, like one of those first like original sewing machine tables. And what she's going to do to it is going to be amazing. I'm going to keep you guys definitely tuned in with that, because I'm going to post it on the Women Everywhere page, just because I'm talking about it right now, because like I said, the refurbishing of a certain material, like sand it down if it's wood, get some paint, smack it on there, maybe put a little designs, and you have a whole new piece of furniture, especially if the structure is solid. Like I said, you don't know a lot of people out there. I have a friend. I know people out there. If you have a product out there that needs to be refurbished, let me know. I can hook you up with somebody that would do it for a fair price. I'm just saying, there are a lot of things, and a lot of times for me, for instance, that I come across things that I really don't want to throw away, or I really find value in. You just got to find a different way to transform that, give it a different type of value. For me, like I said, my friend got this sewing table. I'm a painter. I found some spare windows that I'm going to create some really awesome paintings on. Tune into that. And I'm just saying, as people, we should just be more mindful of the different waste. Unfortunately, people are only recycling about 35%, and so if we keep doing this, we might not have any room for us to just live. They're just like New York, like just full of trash everywhere. Dumpsters in front of your there's no alleys, it's in front of your buildings. You got rats the size of horses because of all the waste. You got animals dying because of wait. Look it up. Also, too, whales are dying and floating up onto shore because and it's being found because they are dying of what they're eating. And well, doesn't know. You got a big crowd of floating objects. They think it maybe possibly it's fish. It's not gonna question it. It's just gonna eat it, right? Now you got these big piles of trash, plastic, aluminum, whatever, that glass, all that stuff that's being dumped in to the water or getting into the water is now into the stomach of this creature. And can you process plastic? I mean, if you swallow a plastic toy, it comes right out, right? Well, when you have all of this plastic and it starts to merge and create this nice little, almost not hairball, but that same concept, these animals are dying because of what we're doing to the community, what we're doing to the earth. Like I said, mothernature.com, no, Mother Nature Network is where I was receiving a lot of the information as far as the statistics and looking at and them receiving the information from the USDA. Everything down to our food waste. You'll be surprised. Not only just with like other countries and the issues of like food waste, and Gigi and I spoke about this when we did some volunteer work with Feed My Starving Children one weekend. And you'd be surprised, like 96 billion pounds of food is being wasted in America every year. About 25% of that could feed 20 million people. As much stuff that we're dumping out. An average one person wastes about an average of $150 of food every month. So, like, we're not just wasting like material and food, we're wasting our money. Like, be mindful of this. And I just encourage you guys to be mindful of this. Like, you could be saving money, you could be making money, you can have a whole new furniture line, a whole new wardrobe possibly for very little. And it took you just a little bit of time to look in certain areas. For me, I went to, like I said, I'm a thrifter. This weekend was about thrifting and mindful what is waste and what is not waste. in Maywood off of Fifth Avenue over by the police department is a self-owned business, is a thrift store. And excuse me, all their products that are clothes, shoes, like I said, I pick up stuff all the time, no shame. Stuff with name tags, not stuff that has never been used, real stuff that I've never seen before. Come on, I wasn't born in the 60s. But this sequence jacket that looks like it used to be on Michael Jackson's back is pretty cool for $2. Why not pick it up and do and dress and look at a little something funky? And so this little thrift store was next, and also a candy shop and a beauty supply, kind of all in one, was an organization that was a non-for-profit organization to help women out of prison and recovery. And so you'd be surprised, like, not only was I didn't even know this. I walked in thinking I was going to save a buck on some new clothes and some new shoes. Not only did I save a buck, but I put it in an organization that is going to help another person in some sort of form. Feed the starving children, whatever organization. Look it up. The things that you're throwing out and seems like waste to you is actually really valuable to somebody else. You think your shoes that have, a little bit worn on the left side is actually valuable for somebody else that really doesn't have shoes, or their shoes are too small and cutting their circulation off on their toes. So I'm just saying, I am just encouraging everybody. I can't change you. I can't enforce you. The government is going to try to start forcing people. They're going to start taking money out. They have been taking money out your pocket, charging you to have your things recycled and thrown out because we're not doing it. We're suffering from the things that we're doing to ourselves and our community, like waste. So, like I said, I'm encouraging you to be a little bit mindful of it. For me, I think it starts with food. And why not be healthy in that aspect? I'm going to be more mindful of my food waste, which really doesn't happen because I like to eat. So, but I encourage you to find one thing this week and try not to waste it as much or use it as much as you normally do. Try to conserve some energy. Try not to use so much plastic, water bottles, whatever that be. One thing. And hey, I'll hold you to it. Post on our social forum, www.tvradio.com, tvradiowe.com. Tell me the one thing that you're going to commit to this week and trying to not use so much of. That one thing you're not going to be wasteful of. I'll keep you accountable since I share that with you. I'd like you to share this with me. So my name is Felicity Whitson. This is Women Everywhere. Tune in next week. Hopefully my co-host Gigi Carrera will be here, but like I said, she's out there doing great things. Tune into what's going on with her. Check out the Gigi brand and all the beautiful models are part of this magazine that is coming out. And check out IntellectualRadio.com. It says right now over 50 radio shows on this. It's definitely increased, and tons of different informative things going on. We're not the only show here, so help support Intellectual Radio as well. This is Felicity Whitson, and enjoy your Sunday.
Riding
Bye.
in my car to the sea, the rising of the sun. For the night was filled with rain and thunder.